I'm Matt.
And I'm Dustin.
And this is
All About That Vape.
Okay, so today we are going to be reviewing the Atlantis V1. It comes with, in the box, it'll be a complete Atlantis tank, which is drip tip, the stainless steel pieces that you see here, and that piece of glass. And the glass is made out of Pyrex, so it is a high quality glass. It does come with a 0.5 ohm coil, which is the standard coil that this comes with. I believe that it's a cotton coil. They also used to make a ceramic coil. I believe it now comes with the cotton coil.
Yeah, and whenever you buy it, it'll come with a replacement glass tube and a replacement atomizer as well.
Yeah, so it actually comes with two. It'll come with one fully set up, ready to go, and it'll come with one atomizer in the box that's ready to roll whenever this one burns out or you need to change it. So, the drip tip that's on it, and I don't know why, like I have like a strange infatuation with this drip tip. Like I really like this drip tip. It's a wide bore drip tip, and it's stainless steel, food grade stainless steel, just like the tank is. And it fits anything that's ego threaded or 510 threaded, like people call it different things. Anything that's it'll fit on, it'll fit it. So, what's really nice about the tank is that it has the adjustable airflow. And this is the smallest hole. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's the smallest hole. And this is
it's probably about the size of the tip of a ballpoint pen.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably a 1.5 to 2 millimeter hole, roughly. And this is what I get out of it whenever I vape it.
Decent cloud.
The draw is really tight though. I mean, for me, it's really tight. Yeah.
Well, someone who's just coming off cigarettes.
Who's just coming off cigarettes. This is probably where you want it to be. I mean, it's a nice tight draw. If that's what you miss about cigarettes, you're definitely going to get that with this. The next hole up is probably about a 4.5 to 5 millimeter hole, which you can see on there like that. And this is what I get out of it. A little more vapor, a little less flavor. Something that you have to understand. Anytime that you widen the air, generally you're going to get less flavor and you're going to get more vapor.
Right.
Okay. So this is the third one. It's a little bit bigger. It's probably a 7 millimeter to an 8 millimeter hole. And get a lot more vapor out of that and a lot less flavor. So if you're somebody who's into, oh man, I gotta, like, you're chasing flavors, like this is what you want to do, is like you like it because of the flavors, that's probably not the setting that you want it at.
No.
If you're somebody who's they call it cloud chasing, somebody who wants a lot of vapor and doesn't really care about the flavor, then you're probably going to want it on this setting, which is the last setting. And this is probably a 10 millimeter hole. That's what I would say it is, probably a 9.5 to 10 millimeter hole. But it is a Cyclops hole, so that's why it's spaced out as far as it is. And this is what I get out of it.
Well, now that I can't see anything, so it's good.
So to me, that's where I left mine at. I like the massive amounts of vapor. If I would go into a store somewhere that was, vape friendly or whatever, I would turn it down to where, it wasn't doing that. And I mean, it's just out of respect for them. If you go to a restaurant or something where they don't mind you vaping, there's a lot of other people in that place besides you. Just keep that in mind. And, vape respectably and, responsibly.
Right.
And that's just my opinion of it, I'm going to turn it over to Dustin and let him talk about it a little bit because he actually vaped it longer than I did. So what do you think?
Well, I like it. It's it's a good way to start it, isn't it? I like it. It's good. I've always vaped it on a wider airflow. I never really messed with any of the other settings. So I mean, I don't really know. That's on. Well, that's not the highest setting, but or the widest setting. That's the second down from that. And I mean, you get a bit of a draw on it. I mean,
it's not like,
if I had to compare it to something, it'd be trying like maybe drinking a milkshake.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I mean, it's just actually like you have to think of it almost like a straw. Where if you had a wider straw, you're going to get more. If you had a narrower straw, you're going to get less.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it is.
I mean, even still on the bigger airflow, you get decent flavor, I think.
Yeah, I don't think you get bad flavor out of it. I think that you get less flavor out of it than if it's on a tighter draw. Put it on a tighter draw and hit it. Like, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Whether like the lowest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get more flavor, less vapor. And that's just how it is. That's how it's worked out from the beginning.
I like the drip tip on it too. Although, I mean, since this tank, I've gotten different drippers, like some RDAs, stuff like that.
Well, yeah.
Hit things with bigger drip tips, but I still like this because
I'll put it to you this way. I'm not gonna like really put out like names of RDAs that I have and stuff like that, but I mean I have a particular RDA that I actually took that drip tip off of and I put it on it, and I mean it's stainless steel and copper, and it looks amazing with it. It just does. I mean it makes a wider bore hole for the drip tip, which actually does help you get a little more vapor, and I mean I really enjoy the vape off of it with that drip tip on it. I've had wider drip tips on it. I don't really care for it. I really enjoy it just with that drip tip.
Now you don't want to put a high VG juice in this because it will not whip correctly.
It's because of the viscosity of the juice. That's the reason why.
Because that's a cotton wick.
Because it is a cotton wick, and it takes a little while for it to wick. Whenever you first get that coil, honestly, I suggest priming it. And whenever I say priming it, what I mean is, you have it on the base, this is the base here. You have your wick, your actual coil is underneath this chimney that's on here. And what I would do is I'd take a little bit of juice and I put it right around where the cotton is, and I let it sit in there. And once it sits in there for 2-3 seconds, or maybe a little bit longer, maybe a minute tops, I will then fill the tank, and then I'll put that together, and then I'll vape it. And that way you don't get a dry hit, because a dry burn out of that is really, really bad, and you will definitely know if you get a dry burn out of it.
I mean, the juice that is in this right now it's a high VG juice. I mean, and it is vaping, but we filled this probably an hour ago, and it's still wicking.
Yeah, it's still wicking.
It's still wicking.
Whenever you have a max VG juice, it's going to take a long time to wick, a long time, and it may not actually ever wick correctly, ever. I would suggest a 50-50, like a 50 VG, 50 PG ratio out of that tank. I mean, for one, you're going to get more flavor. For two, you're not going to get mass amounts of vapor. The reason that we're actually getting a large amount of vapor is because of the air hole and the fact that that is 100% VG juice. So, I mean, and VG is where you get your vapor from. PG is where you get more of your throat hit from. So if you're a smoker and you're going to a new, you want to try this, you're going to miss that throat hit from the cigarette. I mean, I smoked Marlboros for a number of years, and the one thing that I really missed whenever I first started vaping, which was roughly 2 years ago, was throat hit. I mean, I really missed it. Like, I would experiment with, high VG juices, low VG juices, and, that 50-50 ratio just kind of did it for me. Like, I mean, once I hit that 50-50, I got the amount of vapor that I wanted, I got the amount of throat hit that I wanted, and it was more like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
Now that I've progressed in vaping, I prefer the more high VG juices because I do use RDAs, and I use tanks, that are rebuildable tanks that can handle a high VG juice.
Cycling through them airflows, some tanks I've seen, it's hard to turn that ring.
Yeah, it is. It's very. I mean, what's nice about that is it's a gnarled ring, which means that your fingers will actually grip that ring.
Yeah.
Opposed to it being. I mean, I've had tanks that have just a smooth ring around it, and to try to turn that, it's not easy. I mean, you need that gnarling done on there.
Yeah.
And it does help out a lot. I mean, I think the biggest plus for me with that tank, honestly, is the looks of it. It looks like a professional tank. It looks like a good, high-quality tank.
It's not badly priced either.
And it's not. I mean, you're looking at roughly right around... online prices vary between $30 to $40. In a vape shop, you're probably looking at $45, maybe a little more.
Well, I think at our local vape shop, I spent $35.
35 is what you spend? I mean, I've seen them go for $45 at a vape shop. It depends on where you go. I mean, in this area, there's several vape shops, and everybody has a different price on everything they get. It depends on who they got it from and what the retail prices of them are. And you can't knock one or the other because they're a little higher priced than the other ones. I mean, they may have paid more for it. I don't know. I don't know if they buy from the same wholesaler. Right. I don't know who they get it from.
One thing that I did notice with this is that if you let it sit overnight or for a long period of time with juice in it, whenever you go to hit it, it spits juice at you.
I have not had that problem.
So you didn't have that problem?
I did not have that problem, no. I mean, the big thing with me was that I never really put a high VG juice in it either.
Well, neither did I.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
I mean, that's the first time that I put a high VG juice in that tank. It's not going to do it right now.
Or, no. Or maybe I did put a higher VG juice in it than what you had. Because I primarily buy higher VG juices. So it wouldn't surprise me if I didn't put a higher VG juice in it. And maybe that's why I didn't have that problem, because it took so long to wick that even overnight, it just didn't wick enough to make a difference.
Yeah, but that was really my only problem with that. I don't understand. I don't understand why it's doing it. I think that it's probably still wicking itself as it sits, and that it's just putting juice on the coils, and then the juice probably just gunks up or something.
Well, one thing you have to understand is that is constantly wicking. It'll never stop wicking until it's completely dry.
Oh, okay.
Because the juice is going to wick into that cotton, and then it'll pool. Once it pools in that tube, that might be where the problem is.
Oh,
Once it gets to a point where it's so full that the cotton itself is actually like drowning almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That
whenever you hit it, because it's set for so long, that it's pulling that juice up through. That might actually be what it is. I mean, you've had RDAs. You put too much juice on them, what happens? It gets in your mouth, and this and that. And I mean, that's one of the things that they try to prevent with these. But I mean, you're talking about a liquid that sits in a cylinder. I mean, it's going to eventually start to go wherever it needs to go. Water or liquid will find a way through anyway.
Right.
I mean,
but what's nice is at the bottom, like at the base, there's like a rubber garnet almost that glass tube sits on.
Yes. And I will tell you this much. Do not try to change that garment. Do not try to take that garment out.
Yeah.
Don't try to adjust that garment. Leave it the way that it is. Like it's machined and it's made to be on there the way that it is because it's a tight fit. If you start trying to take the garment off for some reason, or I don't know why you would need to take the garment off personally.
I don't know.
I mean, you got people who will buy tanks like this and they'll try to rebuild them.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They try to make a non-rebuildable into a rebuildable because it saves them money. And I understand that completely. I mean, these coils are $4 a piece. At least where I buy them at. They're $4 a piece. I mean, I've seen them online for $2 a piece, but then you got to wait, and if you need a coil that day, you're going to go spend the extra $2 because you need it that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm an avid vapor. I mean, whenever I say I'm an avid vapor, I vape every day, all day long. That's why rebuildables to me just seem to work. This tank, I can tell you, I've had coils in it that I vaped for a month, and I never had an issue with them burning out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, this coil, he's had it since he's got it, which has been roughly, what, 4 months you've been vaping?
Yeah.
And it's still, I mean, you see what we're getting off of it, and it's still working. So, I mean, they're made high quality coils, so they're decent.
Yeah. So, I mean, the tank itself, I would, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would honestly probably give it, I'd give it a 9. I really would. I mean,
I would say give it a 9, and the only reason why that I say give it a 9 is because, you know, you had the issue with the juice problem.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that somebody out there, other than you, have had the same issue.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked to people at vape shops that have the V1 and the V2, and they both do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I never had the V2. I'm not opposed to buying one and doing and trying it. I mean, he does have one, so we are going to do a review on it. That's probably what our next review is going to be, is the V2.
Yeah.
To show the differences between them, and we're going to try to do things where, if there's more than one, we're going to try to do, you know, version 1, version 2, version 3, whatever it is. We're going to try to do that to keep it in line, so you see what the differences between them are. Because I mean, our videos are not going to be streamlined more towards building coils and RDAs and things like that. We are going to do them. We're going to touch on them. We're definitely going to touch on how to build a coil, a standard coil, not these crazy ones you see on YouTube all the time. And we want to do that. We want to make it where, you know, this is for somebody who is just now starting out and wants to get into vaping and doesn't know exactly, you know, what to get. You know, I mean, whenever I first started, honestly, I bought an Ego battery, and I bought it's called a V tank, and that's what I used for probably a month. And then I was one of those like early bloomers where I was like, man, this just doesn't do it for me, and I want to get into a mod. And I got a mechanical, and after that, that's what started it. You know what I mean? I now, this isn't just, you know, what I do to get nicotine. It is a hobby. It is, I mean, it becomes, you know, I don't want to say it becomes your life. It doesn't necessarily become your life. But I mean, it becomes a hobby. It does. And I mean, I'm down to where I vape 3 milligram nicotine, and I don't miss cigarettes at all. I don't miss the taste of it. I don't miss any of it.
The smell actually kind of makes me sick anymore.
Yeah, the smell of it is really, really repulsive.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, I go through roughly right around 70 to 80 mils of juice a week. Probably.
Yeah.
Close to it.
Well, you're also dripping it, too.
I mean, I also use a dripper. So, I mean, and my drippers burn a lot of juice. So.
Yeah.
I mean, Dustin, he just recently got into RDAs, and he's going through probably right around 30 mils a week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and for him, that's a lot. Like, he would buy 15 mil bottles, and they'd last him a week and a half. So, I mean, you know, it just shows you, you know, you go from something like this to an RDA or to a rebuildable. Sometimes you burn through juice faster. Sometimes you don't. I don't know. I know I do.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
for sure.
I don't know. I mean, when I first started out with that tank, it didn't seem to blow through juice.
No.
At all, really. I would fill it up probably once every 4 days, maybe 3 or 4 days.
Let's see. For me, I had to fill it up twice a day.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't constantly vaping it either. Yeah. It also depends on how much you're vaping it, really.
The longer that you smoke, the more you're gonna vape. It's that simple.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's how it worked out. And I mean, and anybody that I've ever talked to that was, you know, a smoker for 10 plus years like I was, they'll tell you that you're gonna vape more than somebody who smoked for a year. You know, it's just that simple. And I really enjoyed doing the video, and
Me too.
I think that there's definitely going to be more to come.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And if you would like to subscribe, like, share the video, you know, whatever you want to do, leave a comment. If you have a comment, if you have questions, that's fine. Ask away, please do. If you have a question on something that we did not do a review on, ask about it.
Or something that you'd like to see.
That you'd like to see a review on. tell us what it is. We'll do a review on it. We will find a way to figure it out and get a review done for it.
We also have a Facebook page too for those
Yes.
that are watching this video not from our page. It's All About That Vape on Facebook.
Yes.
So go check
And
that out.
I will get you the URL right now.
Yeah. You guys want to go check that out?
Actually, I'll tell you what. We're going to post the URL.
We'll post it in the link below.
In the link below, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? And you guys, anybody who's out there that wants to, even if you're not a vapor and you just happen to stumble upon this video and you want to learn about it, or you want to become and you want to start vaping, or you want to quit smoking, go to that page. There's tons of people. I mean, right now we're not a huge page. There's roughly about 90 people or so.
Yeah.
But the people that are on there, they've been vaping for a long time. You know, there's a lot of shop owners on there. You know, there's a lot of people who can answer questions that you may or may not know the answer to.
And the page is constantly growing.
And it is. I mean, it grows every day. You know, we add anywhere between 3 to 6 members a day. Sometimes less, sometimes more. You know, it just depends.
We also do like special things on the page as well.
We do. I mean, we're gonna do. There's gonna be giveaways being done on the page. That's one of the big things, that we're not going to do YouTube giveaways. We're not. If you want to do a giveaway, you need to add the page. If you want to get a part of a giveaway we're doing on YouTube, you need to add the page. That's how I think we should roll it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, because we want to add more members. We do. We want to get it growing. We want to have more conversations. You know, where we do cloud pictures, we do goofy little contests and things that are on there. I mean, we're gonna start doing some really fun stuff, and in the greater Pittsburgh area, Washington area, Canonsburg area.
And feel free to contact other vapors on there. I mean, that's the best way to learn.
One of the best things that I ever did was join a vape group, and I asked questions. If I didn't know the answer to it, I asked a question. You know, how do I build a microcoil? How do I set this dripper up a certain way to do this that I wanted to do, and you get answers. You know, I mean, so it's a community. It is, and really, truthfully, I mean, it's not like where you have a group of smokers and they're standing there in the corner and everybody's huddled together because they don't want nobody to see them smoking.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're out in the open about it. Like we vape every day. We go to work. We whenever we take smoke breaks, we take vape breaks. It's not a smoke break.
Right.
You know, I mean, so. It is a lifestyle. It really is, and I'm enjoying it, and I think that other people would enjoy it as well. And that's one of the main reasons why we're trying to get the videos out there. To it's not about money. It's not about becoming famous like some of these other reviewers. Like honestly, everything that we have that we're doing a review on, we bought out of pocket. Like nothing has been given to us from a company. Nothing's been sent to us from somebody from Aspire sent me this and said, here, do a review. Nobody's done that. This is all out of pocket, things that we own, that our experience with it, how long we've had it. So
go like the page, comment on the video, let us know what you would like to see in a review video or anything that you would like to see upcoming.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Thank you and keep watching.
Yeah. And remember, it's all about that vape.